Scrolling. There we go. Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us. This live stream is part of the Kindle Flash Sale featuring 50 plus books, including my book, Chameleon Mindset, written by entrepreneurs across a range of businesses and personal development categories. I'm pleased to bring together 3 participating authors whose books I believe will be highly relevant to my readers. Oh, looks like Lenore is here. Let's see if we can add her to the stage. There we go. Hi, Lenore. How are you?
Hi, sorry to be delayed, everyone. Good to see you.
Excellent. All right. Well, Marcia, why don't we start with you? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us about the book that you have included in this week's sale, and who's your ideal reader?
Yeah, thanks. So my name's Marcia Dawood. I'm an angel investor. I've been helping women get access to capital, or try to get access to capital, considering they only get 2% of venture capital funding, and we're 50% of the population. So that's really been my mission for a long time. I have a podcast called The Angel Next Door to help demystify this whole space of early stage investing. And then I wrote a book called Do Good While Doing Well that also demystifies the space. But I came to find that women, especially, really, they need more help with money mindset and thinking about what they're going to do with their money in order to carve out some to be able to invest in the changes that they want to see in the world. So that's why I wrote my latest book that came out March 31st called Unapologetic Wealth, which is part of my Wealth Reimagined series with Do Good While Doing Well. And just trying to help get more women to take agency over their money.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love Do Good While Doing Well. I read it during the Black Friday sale that we had when we collaborated last time. And I'm really looking forward to this new book and learning a lot. It's definitely one I recommend to a lot of my clients because I see that money mindset challenge quite a bit. I think once you get more grounded in where you're trying to spend that money and invest it for your future, then you start really realizing the potential that you have. So love that. Awesome. All right. And Lenore is here. Hi, Lenore. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, the book that you're contributing to this week's Kindle Flash Sale, and who's your ideal audience?
Great. It's wonderful to be here. I am a work-life alchemist and a soul path guide, energetic alignment strategist. I help high-performing leaders to get more clarity and to create their life by design, not by default. And my book is So What Do You Do? The Authentic Alchemy Path to Find Who You Are. And it's a guidebook with a companion workbook to help people to find more alignment between their life and their work.
I love that. I started digging into your book and I was like, I can just see, especially right now where a lot of people are challenged with, potential layoffs and restructuring and a lot of stuff where they may be losing their path a bit. So I feel like there's a really great opportunity right now for maybe people to dig in here and find what's next for them. I really like the way you're kind of redefining too, is like, it's not just about the job, but it's about who we are as a greater person and what our purpose is. So really exciting stuff. And for those of you who haven't met me, thanks, for those of you who haven't met me or haven't joined our channel before, my name is Nikki Green. I'm a life and business resiliency expert. My book is Chameleon Mindset, Creative Ways to Embrace Change and Build Mental Resilience to Transform Your Career and Life. And similar to both of these ladies, it's really about, what are we doing with our paths, our lives, our career. I work a lot with people that are in transition spaces. They probably had a great career and now they're trying to figure out what comes next for them. Is that building a business? As that, maybe consulting on boards? Is that maybe reflecting more and spending more time with your family? All of those transitions always leave us in a bit of a strange space. And so I help people work through those transitions. And I also have a workbook, which helps people kind of do the exercises, not just alone, but also with their family and friends to really make sure that they're connecting with those purpose elements. So always super fun and lots of new stuff coming our way. Well, Marcia, why don't we start with, I know this latest book just came out. So what did you think about why you're participating in the Kindle Flash Sale campaign and how is it helping you to sort of market and bring your book out?
Yeah, I think this is the 4th time that I've been in the Kindle Flash Sale, but the first time with my second book. So I've really found it valuable. I really love getting to meet the other authors too and learn about what they're working on. I mean, it really is an incredible deal to be able to get all these amazing books for 99 cents. I usually don't have the price except during the launch, down at that level. So it is really an opportunity for people to take advantage of all the great books out there.
Absolutely. And I love that, like you said, meeting the other authors is fun. Especially most of us, it's not usually a one and done process for us. Usually we start with a book and then you really start to fall in love with the process. And it's nice to know other authors to help you work through some of your ideas, to find ways to collaborate. And then obviously the big part is the promotional push once it's out the door. So good stuff there. Well, Lenore, how about you? What kind of brought you to participating in the Kindle Flash Sale this week?
Well, I was very fortunate that a good friend of mine who is an author shared the book promotion with me as a wonderful opportunity to get more visibility. And I was also very excited by the opportunity to connect with a number of other business authors. My writing community tends to be folks who actually have a background in more fiction and other genres. So being connected to community of business authors was a nice opportunity for me to learn from others. So this is my first time participating, and I'm delighted to be here.
Oh, absolutely. Here in Chicago, I belong to an amazing writing group, and nearly all of them write fiction. So it's a little bit different, but I find it's a nice crossover because the more I work on fiction work with them, the better I can tell stories, not just for written work, but also for time on stage. But it is nice to collaborate with some business authors because there's a different element to us writing and using this as a part of our business. I think that's maybe a good question next is, and we'll maybe start with Lenore this time. How do you use this book as a part of your business? Where does it fit into kind of your ecosystem and, your methodology for helping others?
Well, that's such a great question. I mean, writing the book in and of itself was a real journey for me to get more clarity on my framework. So the book helped me to crystallize and evolve some of the things that I had already developed. And when I work with clients, I'm using my 8-step process to guide them through getting more clarity. So every client I work with receives a copy of the book as a gift with another companion step in one of the rituals that I outline within the book. So it just reinforces and empowers them. And I feel like it's an ongoing resource that they can work with to gain more insight and support their journey. So I do a lot of private coaching with folks one-on-one. And so when we're not working together in a session, they can always go to the book, do an exercise on their own, or use it to come back to. So I found that it's really been a very valuable companion to any work that I do directly with clients. And then the last thing I would say is there are some clients who are not ready to invest in ongoing coaching work. And so, in that way, knowing that people have access to the ideas, the principles, and what I've developed is just a valuable way for me to get in front of new audiences. If they decide that they want more support, they can always reach out in the future.
I think that's fantastic. And that's it. Coaching sometimes is finite. We're doing it for a period of time, maybe while they need to work on something specific, but the book allows them to keep revisiting as new things come up in their life or their career so that they can come back to it. So I think that's really fantastic. A great idea. Well, how about you, Marcia? I know you work with a lot of big organizations, but how does the book play a part into your overall business strategy?
Yeah, so I don't have a business model with coaching or anything like that. My main thing is being an investor, and because I have done so many different things, I learned the hard way and made some mistakes. So I have basically put that in a lot of the books, and I hope to help people to not maybe make some of those same mistakes from before. But other than that, I just have the podcast and 2 books under the Wealth Reimagined series.
Awesome. Well, it's important work and stuff that we need to keep focusing on. I think, especially like we said, with women, a lot of times we haven't had that education or we haven't had that exposure. And so I think the more where we can invest in things that we believe in and see that return, not just financially, but in other ways as well. I think it's really great work that you're doing, and excited to share it with more people. Well, before we wrap things up, I think the next big piece is really about, for the authors in the audience, is how do you define success for the book? And, again, probably how does this Kindle sale contribute? I know most authors or want to be authors. When we talk to them, the first thing they say is, oh, well, I'm going to get rich off book sales. I'm sure that's definitely not the truth for most of us, but there's a bigger component there. So, Lenore, maybe let's start again with you. So what's the kind of metrics of success for you with the book and participating in the sale?
Well, I think the first metric is finishing the book. I'm working on my second book, and it's a process. So I think really what I wanted was to produce a high quality resource that I could share with people, because I know I chose to self-publish, and some folks go a more traditional publishing route. But what I've found is that there's a wide range of quality in books that are produced. And so for me, it was really important to produce something that I really felt proud of. And what I also learned in the journey was how much I loved writing the book and writing in general. So for me, it was that learning experience. While I want to get the book into as many hands as possible, there was a very steep learning curve for me going through that initial process. So in my new book, there are a lot of things that I'm hoping to perhaps do differently and incorporate. So for me, it's really about just being able to share that wisdom, get it into the right hands, and get positive feedback from those who have been able to read it and enjoy it, that they have found that it's helped them with their life. And that's been very meaningful for me.
I love that. And that's such a great story too, is sometimes that first book is a bit overwhelming because there's so much to the process. Even if you go with traditional publishing, most of the folks I talk to, they don't get the support that they used to. And going self-publishing, there's a lot for us to learn. But then once you get there and you find the pieces that you love and you find the support for the pieces where you need, an expert, then it makes it every time a little bit easier. And joining a sale like this, you get connected with a lot of great experts. How about you, Marcia? So where do you define success for your publication and, fitting it into maybe your next book? I'm sure you're already thinking of some future ones.
Yeah, it is a steep learning curve. I mean, going from book 1 to book 2 was different. It felt like it was a little bit easier the second time. You kind of know what not to do, at least. But, book sales aren't really where you're going to make money. So I've seen a lot of authors that they do have, some type of a speaking business around their book, and then maybe they get bulk sales that can help. So yeah, it's just, I think it's a matter of, I wrote both of my books for a very different reason. I was trying to get the message out into the world of what could we do in order to help change this big problem that we have about women not getting funded with the innovations that they are trying to put out into the world. And in a lot of cases, we all need those innovations and we can't get access to them. So that was more of, the kind of why behind. And then, but to your point about people who think they're going to write a book and make a lot of money, that's usually not the case.
Yeah, definitely not from the book sale itself. And especially right now, our books are 99 cents. So you guys can grab them during the Kindle Flash Sale this week. It's only good until Thursday. But not only can you grab our books, but there are about 50 books in the sale, a lot of wonderful ones. I'll be doing a number of reviews and I'll be sharing those through my Substack. So I really hope you guys are able to grab a few of those. And if you guys are part of our Mighty Networks community and business foundations, please share your reviews. And so the broader community can learn a little bit more about what you liked about the book and how we can grow our businesses together. So we're just about out of time, but I do want to give you guys a chance to let folks know where they can find you after the sale is done, because I know you guys are doing some other great work. So, oh, Lenore, we got the, hold on. There we go.
Sorry if you hear a little background. Yeah,
Sorry, in the
I'm in
background.
Paris on the street. I figure it sounds like. So just my business is Growth Warrior. My website is growthwarrior.co. You can connect to me through LinkedIn or on Instagram at Lenore Cantor with a K. And it's a pleasure to be here. And my books are available through Amazon and other major outlets. So yeah, look for me wherever you are looking to learn more about transformational coaching.
Oh, fantastic. And Marsha, where can folks find you after the sale is over?
Yeah, my website is simply my name.com, marshadawood.com, and you can find my podcast there, things about my books. I have a lot of free resources for people who are trying to fundraise.
Fantastic. Alrighty, guys. Well, one last time, it's kindleflashsale.com/Nikki, and you guys will able to grab these books up until Thursday. But I would love for you guys to connect with these wonderful authors, get to meet them, and learn more about the work that they do. And you never know where the next collaboration comes in. All right, ladies, thank you guys so much for your time. Good luck with the sale, and look forward to our next collaboration.
Thanks, Nikki.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Nikki. Thanks, Marsha. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.